Oh my god. Oh my god.
Most supportive villains ever.
Ugh. I gotta join my
Oh,
brethren.
you're too late now. You're never too late for hair.
Banana. Papaya.
That's the two of us being minions.
Run, Juxie.
Run, Drixie. Hello.
We're back.
In the minion
We're
house.
back.
We're back,
for more
baby.
despicableness.
Drippy moist.
But we're
yeah.
dripping in a different direction now.
Listen, that's the thing. We were done being despicable.
Yeah.
We wanted to just be minions.
Yeah. We didn't want all the responsibility of despicability.
If I remember correctly, you did in fact declare yourself to be Greg's minion during one of these reactions.
I did. I spoke too soon. I should have reconsidered. I'm like a bunch of minions in a trench coat, you know.
Yeah, that's you. Now we are the minions of Reject Nation. John, how are you, and how are you feeling about going from despicable to minion?
I am. It's been an interesting day so far, for sure. It's been like, a little in and out of a lot of different vibes. So I'm a little combobbed.
Is combobbed a real word?
Not quite, but kind of.
It's like discombobulated, but it's just you're combobbed.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand
exactly. You're like it's like being whelmed instead of overwhelmed.
I feel like being combobbed fits with the minions.
Yeah.
So maybe this will be perfect for you.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm here, and
That's
that
good.
is something I
That's
can
a
say out
start.
loud as a fact.
We're here.
The rest of it is just TBD. I'm excited to be doing. Every time I see John, I say I love reacting with John.
I love reacting with you.
You're just
it's,
the best.
It's nice
so,
to be back.
Yeah, it's good.
It's
to
not
be back.
vampires, but it's been nice just the same.
We don't know that it's not vampires.
And we got monsters monsters and minions
Minions
of mice and minions.
Of mice and minions
Monsters
coming
and
up.
minions.
Yeah, so
coming
that
up.
might have vamps. We're leading towards
There you
that.
go.
But until then, shall we see what minions have in store for us?
Let's do it. I'll let them. This is about to be cinema, Roxanne. Ooh. Dude, this is just like the opening
Imagine me,
of
Sandy B.
Sandy B?
Jon
Jon Hamm?
What is going on?
Jon Hamm's
So
Jon
it's just
Hamm?
like a whole
It's the prologue of War of the
Michael
Worlds.
Keaton.
Keaton?
Did you know any of this?
No. I know almost nothing about this spin-off. Allison Janney.
All right, stacked cast. Let's go.
Loving nobody but the minions for all my life.
Everybody's kids.
Steve Coogs is back.
Yep. Everybody's kids and
All right.
nieces and nephews are like just want their famous people to be in the movies.
Yeah, man. Everyone get that minions check. I do
At
love
least-
an angler fish.
Geoffrey Rush. Jesus
Jeffrey
Christ.
Rush.
John, you and I are probably the two biggest music heads on the channel, although Coy would say he's the biggest music head, but he's more in one arena. He's
Yeah.
not like you and I.
Not, not as broad of a spectrum.
Right. So I will say that this franchise does give us a lot of sick tunes.
A lot of bops.
Minions have been on this planet far longer than we have. They go by many names: Dave, Carl, Paul, Mike.
Just innately.
Are they all boys?
Norbert.
He's an
it
idiot.
seems like. Although Norbert,
To serve the most despicable master they could find.
little tan line. Boss!
Huh.
Making their master happy was the tribe's very reason for existence.
Why does the narration sound like Hugh Grant to me?
Menu.
Banana.
C'est la banana.
Banana!
Finding a boss was easy, but keeping a boss, therein lies the rub.
Oh, the rub. Like, is it Coogan? Somebody else I'm forgetting now. Whoa!
Yeah, it's Michael Keaton, Geoffrey Rush, Jon Hamm.
Oh, maybe it's Geoffrey Rush. There you go. Ah!
What are you gonna do now, though? No,
Bonk.
no, bro.
Dude.
Did they make dinosaurs go extinct?
They must have done. That's the truth all along.
Who needs science?
Dude, global warming is fake. It was
It
minions.
wasn't easy for these guys.
Agree.
But they never gave up.
And they never surrendered.
Came the rise of a new species. He was shorter, hairier, and way smarter.
Isn't The Rise of the Minions a different movie?
Rise of Gru, I think.
I picked the right movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Minions. It's just Minions.
You know I did that once.
Oh my.
Oh, no, no.
That's a lot of hair.
La piñata.
Ah! Piñata.
Para la mujer.
Where are we at in relation to the Crudes? I wish this was a Crudes crossover.
I've never seen that.
Crudes was more fun than I expected.
It's kind of a fun premise for going back through history with
Ancient
inserting
Egypt
opinions.
held
Yeah.
great.
And I love that they just originated as this like deep sea bacteria. Whoa,
But
no.
it didn't last long.
How were the pyramids built? Minions.
Minions. get a
Dark
meme of
Ages
Giorgio
were actually
going
fun
Minions.
times.
His big hair. Vampires. Vampires.
You know, you and I have magic powers.
Yeah.
The one movie that I said no cockroaches, and the one movie you said
Vampires. No vampires. Ooh. Ah!
But eventually the party was over.
I was gonna wish that this was a Hotel Transylvania crossover, but now I
They
don't.
bounced from one evil boss to
them
another.
continuing
but they never
to
seemed
kill their
find
bosses on
perfect fit.
accident is hysterical.
I actually kind of love that.
One particular employer took their failure very, very badly.
It's crazy. Oh my god. Show me the history books with little like grainy photos of minions in the background.
Their footprints.
Yeah.
The minions had no other choice but to keep moving.
Dude. We should have Minions versus Predator.
I've never seen those movies.
Call Dan tracked it. What?
I know.
They
Pregnant.
found sanctuary.
Hang on to
The
that.
minions were safe.
Huzzah! In Superman's Fortress of Solitude.
So they were already celebrating Christmas.
The minions forged their own civilization.
It is
but
sick.
something just wasn't right.
What wasn't
Yeah,
right,
what was
Geoffrey
it?
Rush?
Without a master, they had no purpose. They became aimless and depressed.
No, Minions.
Without a master, them becoming depressed is kind of a weird message.
One minion had a plan. His name was Kevin.
Kevin.
But now he was ready.
Let's go, Kev. No, you don't even need the cards. Just
You
throw
got
it,
this, Kev.
Throw it all away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's inside you, Kev.
Buddies!
Cariño par les boss. Yo le findo. La.
I want to...
Kevin would leave the cave. And he would not return until he had found his tribe the biggest, baddest villain to serve.
Yes.
He needed help. Bob was eager to go.
Oh my God.
Bob.
No, una autre mignon.
Choose Bob.
Elle est comme.
Luckily, someone stepped up.
Stuart, come.
Hey, but why not Bob?
Una autre. Sorry, forto.
Bob is small but mighty.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Do you love fart jokes, John?
My favorite kind of jokes. All right.
Come. Kumbaya. Kumbaya.
Kumbaya! I want to, like, the next time we all do a Real Rejects hangout, I want to dress everyone just buddies!
Bye bye.
I like this. This is going to be like Nanook of the North. Is that what that documentary is called?
Kevin felt pride. He was going to be the one to save his tribe.
I'm getting Society of the Snow vibes.
Yeah, that's the movie we're about to descend into.
They were off to find their new boss.
I will give them this very fun opening.
Yeah.
Very fun opening. I like the premise. They have me right now.
I want to live in this prologue.
Yep.
And that's good because these are characters that you can do anything with. So I love this backstory. Yeah, that they've like driven every one of their bosses to their
Into the ground.
imminent doom
On
with their
accident.
good nature. Oh my, the light, the grain.
Stuart, Macareno.
What?
He's seeing them as bananas. He's gonna eat them. What is he yelling in the microphone when they're rowing in the other movie? Comment below, Minionese expert.
I think they looked cute as bananas.
They did.
Everybody deserves to get licked every once in a while.
Yeah, that's true. If you're watching this video, turn to your neighbor and lick their face. Consensually.
19.
68 or
63, I think it was. I
63?
don't know.
All right.
Là-bas.
We're in the 60s.
Oh my God! Finally, a name you can trust.
Nixon, that's hysterical.
When the president
Was
doesn't.
that Nixon's advertisement?
Dude, it was.
Finally, a
They're
name
gonna
you
go
can
work for him.
trust? But was that in real life? Is that what Nixon ran on? Finally, a name you can trust? If so, that's unbelievable.
Political experts, fill us in the comments. Oh my God! The origin of their iconic outfits.
Very cool.
Buzzards die harder. New York. Oh.
NYC.
Spaghetti Oh. Uh-oh. Dreaming of fame.
I told you he's a narcissist.
Yeah, dude. I don't know about that. That could turn into some real
Oh my God.
killing.
Oh my God. He took Bob.
This is a kidnapping now. Powwow motor oil. Fancies.
It's a perfect place for him.
Golly.
Bob, Bob, come here.
Sit up. I love that this is period. And in an animated setting, it doesn't cost you any more to do that.
Get in. Oh.
Oh my.
The fact that it was $60 for that dress, which would
Oh,
now
no.
be $1,000.
Yeah, right.
Hey, les buddies. No?
Nobody's.
Tous les macumba. ¿Qué pasó? La triba.
¿Qué pasó?
Les teams. Oh, les teams. Thank you.
He got his crazy bear.
He's so cute.
He does.
La clota.
I've never had a favorite minion, but
Oh my
now
God.
it's Bob.
It's friggin' the
It did
mannequin
look like her.
was
It looked like
yeah.
her, yeah.
Easter eggs. Kristen Wiig, where you at? I love the 60s everything in here. More period piece animated movies.
You're watching the Top Secret Villain Network channel.
Fun.
If you tell anyone, we'll find you.
Fun.
The biggest gathering of criminals anywhere. That's
C'est là.
right,
C'est là qu'on les
Kelly.
fait les big boss.
You gotta go.
For the first time anywhere, Scarlet Overkill!
Oh my.
Ooh.
Criminal genius!
Hey, a girl's gotta make a living.
Oh.
Move aside, man.
Make way.
Oh.
It's red hot.
I love this. Like retro.
545 Orange Grove Avenue in Orlando, Florida. So much fun, it's a crime.
Haha.
Like to do old 60s black and white TV and then a cartoon within that. With it all in this cartoon. Very fun.
Hippy dippy.
What we chewing on?
Gum. Far out.
Gummer. Love is the way, brother.
I feel like Stuart's gonna lose a hand.
Or a whole Stuart.
I think just grab on.
Orlando. Nice with the heat haze.
Risky business, dude.
Come on, Kev. Oh my God. A nice POV. Jeez. It's like a spaceship in a Spielberg movie.
Oh, Walter, look! These adorable
Duh.
little freaks are headed to Orlando, too.
What do you say we give these fellas a ride?
I wish hitchhiking was still a real thing. It seems like a fun way to get to know people if it wasn't so dangerous.
Yeah.
You guys wait here. We'll be right
Oh my God.
Okay, Nelsons, let's do this.
Let's go, Nelsons.
Look what I just said about being picked up.
1 in 5, Rox.
And these
Your
are
experience probably won't be like this.
Go. Okie dokie, on the road again.
Hysterical.
Uh-oh. We gotta chase.
Hey, we all make mistakes.
What a
Sherlock.
supportive dad.
You're still learning.
You're still learning. What a Wowie. Oh boy. Oh boy. Take it easy. Life is short. Oh my God. Whoa. Oh no. No.
Are you so sad for the police, John?
No, I'm sad for the telephone poles and the water tower and the infrastructure that's going to mess up this city now, this town.
You're going to VillainCon, aren't you?
Si, VillainCon. VillainCon.
Helen Khan.
By that logic, he's Arnold.
Dude, also football. Hey, football head.
Oh.
Goal! No,
John, life is
Coogan.
not worth living if you don't have a master. You didn't know?
I know. I'm just trying to have hope. Ah, big boss. Big boss. Let's go, Yetis. This is a Yeti movie too. I love a cryptid.
They're all so happy, though. They're not gonna...
Look at her. Scarlet Overkill. The coolest supervillain like ever.
Nah.
By the time she was 13, she built a criminal empire.
Ooh.
If I was a minion, that's who I'd want to work for.
Hell yeah.
Scarlet Overkill.
Scarlet Overkill.
Nailed it. Exact name.
We're here for so much fun. It's a crime.
That's the password. Very cool. See, with the tunes. Days of night.
You know, they really make villainy seem appealing.
Nights a day.
I really appreciate what you did back there with the cops. Really.
Dad!
Oh.
It's Frankie Fish Lips!
Frankie Fish Lips.
I hope you find what you're looking for.
Same.
I hope we see you guys soon.
Yeah, you guys are cool.
Were there a lot of conventions in the 60s? Oh,
That
yeah.
kind of looked like Nefario.
That's not evil or a talent.
Sounds like Helen Mirren.
Use your imagination.
You need to go into crafting. Oh. Okay, that's pretty sick.
I'm not looking for any more servants, for I, Professor Flux, have invented the world's first time machine.
Oh.
I visit the
Whoa.
future, I bring my future self back to help
Oh
me.
my.
Very cool. That would mess everything up.
As you can see, I don't need any help. Way to go, guys.
Yeah.
We killed the original.
No. Oh.
Scarlet.
We've been waiting our whole lives for you.
Hall H. Hall H.
Direct Comic-Con reference. Love to see it.
I'm camping out all night for this. Professor Flux kind of had a Mandark head.
Unfortunately, Hall H doesn't have a stage in the school.
No, or these nice upholstered chairs.
No, they hurt.
Doesn't it feel so good to be bad?
Yeah, I assume. Oh my. Wowie.
When I started out, people said a woman could never rob a bank as well as a man. Well,
How dare they?
times change.
Yes.
We are all so different, but we have one thing in common.
You're evil.
Flippers.
Have any of you ever dreamt of working for the greatest supervillain of all time?
Yes. Let's go. Who is it?
I am looking for new henchmen.
Gosh, John, get there.
Truly the only men for this job are Kevin and his minions.
Oh, no.
Patata la boca!
Well, just take it from my hand and you've got the job. No big deal. It's almost too simple.
Come on, Kev.
That job is mine.
Nah. This guy looks
Now
like.
go easy on me.
What if Danzig, but also Steven Seagal, but also WWE? Ouch! The wedgie.
Yeah, it is giving wrestler.
Come on, Kev. Whoa!
I feel like it's going to be Bob.
Wow! Little leprechaun guys.
Bob on accident while trying to get his little
Sumo.
bear.
Whoa! That guy on top.
She doesn't have it, though.
Oh,
All these villains, and yet I still have the bear. Stuffed bear. Why am I holding a bear?
Bob.
Who has the ruby? Who are you, my knights in shining denim?
Minions!
The Incredibles.
Everyone, meet my new henchmen, the Minions!
Kumbaya!
I know those guys!
Oh my
I
God.
gave him a ride here!
Oh my God.
Most supportive villains ever.
Buckle up, boys. Next stop, England.
England.
The guy just like shook the heck out of the Grim Reaper.
When are you guys gonna tell her there's a lot more of you?
Oh my God.
What a wild jet.
Yeah, like a lightning bolt.
I don't really understand the aerodynamics of that, but
Same, but it's cool.
very cool.
It's evil, so that's what gets it over the
Evil.
hump. Kevin phone home. Oh my.
John, what?
It is the 60s. I feel like the big movie musical number is still a thing.
Hey, Kevin! Les boss in England? Nous les films les boss! Speta!
Oh my God.
Oh no, you're gonna kill him. Yeah.
Tous les dis c'est England? Les boss, si? Scarlet Overkill. Ah!
Scarlet Overkill.
I can't believe they killed another boss.
I know they're probably gonna kill. Chances are they're gonna kill Scarlet too.
¿Qué pasa?
¿Qué paso? What's up?
Wowie, wowie. That looks like a casino and a mini golf course.
Here we go. I really like
Well,
it,
that's
baby.
Bob.
My baby.
You know I am.
There's Jon
Yeah.
Hamm. You know I ham.
I'm so annoyed that I can't remember who she is.
A little bird dropped this off today. I missed you.
Hey.
I love
Oh my.
Te lovo. Ah. Oh.
Oh, okay. Oh, buddy.
These are the new recruits.
You guys are crazy little and way yellow, and
Facts.
I dig that.
I dig that.
I know, right?
Have
Just
you
a few
told her
things I
about the
stole
other
to help
minions?
fill the void.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Was that the Statue of David?
Do you know who this is?
La cucaracha?
This
Yes.
is Queen Elizabeth.
La Cucaracha.
I'm her biggest fan. Love her work. And I really, really, really want her crown.
Really, really, really.
Steal me the crown and all your dreams come true.
Banana. Yes. Oh no. Oh no. Whoa. Whoa.
When it's completed, it'll be my ultimate weapon. But right now, it's leaking radiation like you would not believe.
Oh my God. I
That's sick.
some Inspector Gadget stuff.
Kevin, Kevbo.
Cool.
Seventh Kevin.
Seventh Kevin.
You are the proud owner of my lava lamp gun.
Cool.
This
my God.
baby shoots actual lava.
Elite.
Cool.
Stuart. Beef stew. I got you the coolest invention, probably ever. Hypno hat.
Hypno hat.
Makes people
You
want to
can
a
use
chicken.
it to hypnotize anyone.
Anyone.
Maybe I'll settle them down with a bedtime story.
Oh my God.
I'll go get some cookies and warm milk. This is gonna be so fun.
I want to have an excuse to run that way.
I want an excuse for cookies and milk.
Where do you make the best cookies?
Once upon a time,
Make some more.
there were
Yeah,
3
you're right.
little pigs.
Oh my.
Dun, 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 dun,
The pigs encountered a
dun,
big,
dun.
bad wolf.
I love the like flocked
Peter and the
felt
Wolf is
look.
what this is playing right now, right?
Yeah.
The wolf offered the 3 piggies and all their friends a job working for her.
It's a mishmash of all the fairy tales.
Piggies had to do was just steal one little crown that the beautiful wolf had wanted ever since she was a penniless.
Oh.
So the wolf sent the piggies to get that crown. But the little pigs weren't up to the challenge. They failed their mission.
I know.
And she blew them off
Blew
the face
her
of
out.
the earth.
This is not the way to motivate them. Ah! You just destroyed that alien life form.
The end.
Okay.
Oh my. Tower of London. London. Yes, it's me.
You said
That's me. We like
it's
this is
scary.
uncanny.
Yeah.
Okay, well then we can make this the best movie
We really
possible.
can.
Start anticipating more things. Speak it into existence.
Please.
I said no women.
Oh no, please.
No women minions. We got one. Dude. All it took was 3 dude minions.
Enjoy yourself, love.
Gold brick. The gold brick is awesome. Bullion.
Okay, come on in.
This is a restricted area. Hands in the air.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh. With hair. Long, beautiful hair. What the heck? What? Oh my god, dude.
The dance.
Hey! I gotta let it down, Rox.
Yeah, you do.
I gotta join my brethren.
You're too late now.
No.
You're never too late for hair.
No.
Good job.
Thanks, Rox. I got there. Oh, nice lava gun.
You said that your hair was too long for Jesus.
Well, it's too Jesus-y now.
Yeah, and then we talked. You wrote this movie 5 minutes ago.
I did. Spoke it into existence.
You came for the Queen's crown, did you?
Yes, they did.
Well, you're gonna have to get through me, the keeper of the crown.
Red, white, and blue in the UK, huh? Oh.
Pete and Baz.
Okay, midway.
Oh, no. You can't see. Or here. Oh.
Yeah, nice. Oh! Oh! I like that his glasses made it through.
Follow it down.
Whoa, that's fun. It's like a weird...
Oh, yeah, we got Bob's skill now.
It's got like a kind of 2D-esque in that wide shot with the gears. Oh, no. Go Durnit. Laura Durnit. Oh, man. It's okay. Oh. Cool.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Da-na-na-na-na. Minions. Wow. Nice.
The Queen's been kidnapped, Sarge!
It's funny, with those arms and legs, he looks like something out of like a 60s sci-fi movie.
They didn't mean to kidnap the queen.
The banana
Yeah.
skin. Just stop there.
Oh, no.
Oh no, now he's in spiral. Oh, the queen. What's up, queen?
Yeah, they kidnapped her.
Go off, queen. Yeah, I know, but I've been so focused on the crown, you know.
Ladies, crowns!
Dude, she is giving the people's elbow. The queen invented that. Oh my. Oh my. Go horses. Whoa.
All right, Bob caught up. Bob just saved everybody's life.
You scoundrel! Off to them!
No. No.
You didn't get the crown, my dude.
So close. Oh my god.
What a funny moment. We have no choice but to bow down.
Cold blood.
England's most famous myths has become a reality.
She crowned him.
What?
Bald, jaundiced child has pulled the famed sword right from its stone, which legend dictates makes him the new king.
Oh my god.
Tiny yellow
The
traitor!
new king. Hey, he might come back. He's gonna be happy to see you. Well done, minions. They have had like the journey of all life. They came from the depths. They lived
Where's
in the
the
Arctic.
kangaroo part of the... Okay, we're in Australia.
We're going to Australindia. Lol. Aw, teamwork. They should make a separate series of Minions Bollywood movies. No! Where's Kubrick?
The moon landing was fake.
I know, that guy didn't look that much like Kubrick, but it could have been. Yeah, Bob forever.
Buddies.
I love them in that garb. Oh, the all-seeing
Make a
eye.
speech.
King Bob!
I love Bob.
Le bougie.
Yes, Bob. Bob is here to stay. You need a translator.
King Bob! He said the thing. Clap now. Cheers, Bob. Oh my God, so much space.
Talking about my generation.
Scarlet!
Don't you Scarlet me, you backstabbing little traitors! Using Herb's invention to steal my crown?
I feel used, not gonna lie.
Oh, Herb.
You pinheads screwed it up!
No. Y la corona, para tú.
The crown for you.
And you definitely cannot just give the job to this woman. There are laws.
Oh, my
They're
God.
like, little do you go. Oh my God.
King Bob has officially changed the law, clearing the way for Scarlet Overkill to be crowned Queen of England. But I'm so very polite
Stakes are high.
that I shall keep my mouth shut.
Oh, Brits.
Seriously? We're all in big trouble.
You have stolen not just England, but my heart.
Oh, and the hearts of... Oh, my God.
Wow, so many. Good for you.
Oh, she thinks they're the babies.
Oh,
Oh no. Oh, she really is a villain. She's putting them in the dungeon.
Hey, we're the Minions. People say we
Go ahead.
minion around. Oh, no. Oh, my. Cool skeletons.
Guillotine.
I thought I could get over what you did, but I feel so betrayed. We're gonna have to break up.
It's Sandra Bullock. It's Sandra
B.
Bullock.
Sandy B.
Is where you're going to spend the rest of your worthless little lives.
Fun, Sandy B.
Búscale Herb.
Who's this handsome herb fella? No, my name is Blurb.
Interesting.
Prepare for torture, which
DM.
I do.
Prepare for trouble and make it double.
Wow, harder than I thought.
They just stretch. Yeah, like what would it hold on to?
Yeah.
I feel like the guillotine would work.
Yeah, you could probably half a minion. Oh my God, what are you gonna do with that chicken foot? Wowie.
They're becoming besties.
Aww.
Herb
Nice
just wants to
life.
have fun.
It was me, her, the whole time.
What?
I didn't know anyone named Blurb.
I do.
I am hours away from becoming the Queen of England.
It's a gas.
It's a gas.
Yeah.
Does that look like this to you?
The hair in that picture, it's just two wavy lines.
Oh no, you're gonna die.
I drew that when I was 5 years old. Get out of my sight.
You gotta do it for your inner child, you know?
You do. Her inner child probably needs a little healing.
Bob, Stuart, help me.
Escape down through the grate. Did I hear running water down there?
Yeah, Carnaby Streets, the sewer, Big Ben, Buckingham, fish and chips.
God save the queen. Oh.
Abbey Road joke. Gotta get the Abbey Road joke in.
Thanks for doing this, Padre. Big fan.
Come here, let me
Are you?
squeeze you. You are so squishy.
I kind of want to squish his face now. Oh, Minion Samar.
Where are the other minions?
They're still en route.
Yeah, we haven't checked in with them in a minute though.
They'll arrive just at the nick of time.
Sayonara.
Machiavelli. Fabia
Wow. I just like their
I know.
their nature as characters.
This is definitely the funniest one.
And there's something, I think there is something about the fact that it is way less dialogue driven that changes things. It's just like fundamentally kind of different.
Stuart is so...
No, it's just trying to become an episode of Bridgerton and they won't let it. Minionton.
Oh, no.
Oh no, they're totally gonna screw Scarlet right now.
Imagine the Minions working for like Mama Featherington or something.
They're about to kill Scarlet and you don't even care.
You know...
Oh, they're twisting it back on.
See? Left, righty-tighty.
Chain. Oh
His
no.
little shoe.
Kevin.
It looks like they're trying to kill her.
Wow. She's gonna pop out the center, right? Wowie. Yeah, the armor and forced dress.
This is no longer a coronation. It is an execution!
Execution!
Oh, guys.
Whoa, Nelly! Run, fellas!
Dude, they're
run!
villains to even the villains. Although I like that our guy there is rooting for him still. Guy's the real one. And even the popes in the stained glass looked like our 3 intrepid heroes. This movie has got visual storytelling and gusto. Yeah, Fast and Furious. It's got visual panache. Hey, that guy was in there earlier in the crowd. He's the singer of Ghost. Popular band Ghost. Of course, we gotta have a spooky clown, because why not?
We are in the 60s.
A little leprechaun.
Oh.
Hey!
I got one!
Oh my god.
It's the least funniest.
Oh, Swamp Thing.
Oh, Creature. Creech, come on. Oh, I wanted you to be cool.
Black Lagoon.
Mind the gap. Minions ride the tube.
Mind the gap.
Mind the gap.
Oh my god, the queen just living her life now that she doesn't have to be the queen.
Scarlet, le poramo, la papaute.
Yes, I saw what was going on the telly.
The telly.
Kevin, I know you're out there. You think you've gotten away? What do we have here?
Hello.
Hello.
Which one shall I kill first? Bob? Stuart?
This is the problem with evil people.
Wow.
And having a master. Evil to some, evil to all.
Yeah, I guess the message is you gotta hope you find a benevolent master who also shares your exact kind of villainy.
What a lesson.
You need a benevolent master who matches your freak. Let's go. Oh my. Jeez. I was gonna say, were those muscles just a product of the... It's just my head.
This way! Look at him!
Always with his butt coming right in the frame.
Butt humor is potty humor?
Yeah. Yeah. Good butt. Butt might be towards the top. You can do a lot with butt.
Butts are funny.
Fart is kind of one-dimensional. I rank that lower.
Do not push this button.
Getting hit in the nuts can be funny, but often way too easy and predictable. Do not pull this lever. Do not push this button.
Do not flip the switch.
Oh. It's the... Wow, nice POV again.
Big yin?
Big yin, yeah. Maximinion. Kaiju Kevin.
Hello.
I like that it's a little deeper.
Bye-bye. Say bye-bye, Bob. Bye-bye.
That is a classic Looney Tunes level of dynamite. Yeah.
Making my way downtown.
Walking fast as I can. Faces passing these tiny windows here.
Did anything explode?
What? How did he? Hold my bear.
Hold my poodle. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She's got some Tony Stark nanotech. Ah! Oh.
There's a pee joke. Pee-pee.
I don't know where I would rank a pee-pee joke. Oh no.
I want to scone. How very British of you.
Whoa! Ow!
That did look like it hurt a lot.
I'm glad I didn't get impaled though.
I never want to see another one of your goofy bug-eyed faces ever again!
Insert all the minions now.
Yeah, tough luck.
Oh, no, you don't.
Lava.
And just for the record, my little deviled eggs, you can thank Kevin for what I'm about to do to you!
My little deviled. Oh, wow.
It's a lot of damage.
Although this is a world where people in those buildings would probably be fine.
The second thing, he did a Hebrew thing earlier, and that's a Yiddish thing. Or a Hebrew thing. Another one.
Dude, they are very worldly. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
A lot of Spanish, a lot of French.
Texture.
Yeah, it is gross. Maybe it's Shana Tova. I mean, she is resilient.
No, she go hard. I mean, like, she's a villainous villain. Oh, snapperini.
Have fun exploding!
Whoa.
Oh my god, gonna put them in the mouth? That's crazy.
Oh my. Oh my.
No, 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 no!
Whoa.
Did Kevin sacrifice himself?
Kevin did a Tony Stark. Oh, Kevin. Kevin was a real hero.
Hey, Poochie. I love you, Bob.
I'm glad his underwear shrank with him.
This is the first time that they've killed a villain on purpose.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what happened. Owie.
With the bear. Ouch.
You know what? Yeah. Money's on the bear. They landed in the Arctic. Are we going to reinstall Queen Liz? Dang.
We are here today to celebrate the Minions!
The Minions!
I offer this tiny crown for your teddy bear Tim.
Oh, the little Tim.
Oh, very good.
He's so happy. He's so grateful.
Oh, spectacular! I'm so proud of you, boys.
Happy to bring them back.
Love them. They got to keep in touch.
I have this beautiful snow globe.
Boglub?
Yippee!
Gracias.
We're just messing with you. Don't be
Oh,
mad.
what do you
at me.
have?
It was Kevin's idea.
Aw, villain at heart,
We
Kevin.
have a much better surprise for you.
Super mega ukulele.
Oh, super mega ukulele. Is it Jimi Hendrix's one?
Hair.
Ah, there we go, Jimmy. God, I was just watching old footage of him play. Turner Classics was playing a bunch of Jimmy stuff
Really?
over the weekend. Yeah. Whoa, whoa!
Oh my god.
It's what Jimmy would.
The
The Boglub.
And finally, Kevin, for your bravery and valor, I am knighting you.
Kevin.
You are Sir Kevin.
Just wear shoulders.
Well done.
Dude,
Sir Kevin.
that sword is massive.
It's hard when we know that they go back to having a master.
I know.
What
Such a good leader
beautiful
yourself,
moment.
Kev.
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya.
Things were finally going their way.
You'll love to see
Kevin had never been more proud.
I've never been more proud.
Something was missing.
The crown is gone. Gone.
Blimey!
Blimey.
Oh, you knew it. You predicted.
Gotta get one more.
Things look bleak, baby, I'm not gonna lie. But now, at least, I have my crown!
Whoa.
Isn't that Gru's
Yeah.
specialty? But he's too old. I mean,
Freeze
he wouldn't be alive Woody. Oh, yeah, he is.
Dude, there you go.
You have no idea who you are messing with. I am the greatest supervillain of all time!
No, you're not.
Oh, were you?
Oh, that's how they got with Gru.
Oh! Kyle!
All right.
Whoa. The little Gru bike.
So they've been with him since the 60s, huh?
I guess. I go back and look at the timeline here.
Oh, Herb, I'm done. For me?
See,
Bye,
para
bye.
tu.
Oh, he's such a good-hearted guy.
That is how the Minions found their new boss. He was despicable.
Yes.
What a prequel.
What a prequel.
All right.
Prequelable me.
If we know anything about these movies, it's that we're probably going to get some fun stuff in the credits, so we'll keep that going. But
yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Speaking of which.
Young Gru.
Speaking of which, Rox.
They're trying to follow him. Simon says. Gru says.
Eric Guillon. Well done, Claire. I wonder how editing works in an animated scenario. Like if you're...
Banana.
I know a little bit about this.
I want a banana.
We got to visit Pixar ahead of Inside Out 2, and we got a
Oh,
little
really?
bit of a look at that. And yeah, I would love to go back to some of my notes and footage. Because yeah, you have to be receiving like raw stuff from the animators, but they're also like, you know, doing shots, and I feel like just like the way you coordinate between the editor on a film live action thing versus on an animated thing is like different. Oh my. Oh my.
That was a cool device.
Oh hey. You replicated them.
You think Steve Carell filmed the one line in his closet at home and texted it over?
Definitely. Just did it on his phone.
He was like, yeah, okay, I could do that.
I mean, they're gonna like pitch it up anyway. Ah!
Cheese, cheese, cheese.
Workflow.
All right.
Dude, so many French names. That's right. Illumination, French company.
Is it?
I believe. Yeah.
See, I thought we saw her earlier.
Might have done. Which would make sense because then Lil Gru.
Yeah.
Ah ha ha ha.
Don't want to get them in front of the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Match made in heaven.
Ah ha 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 ha.
This really does feel like all right.
Desktop.
You're going to fill it out. All right, there we go.
All right.
Citizens of the Reject Nation, we just watched Minions 1, the first Minions movie,
right.
the fourth movie in this Despicable Me franchise. And we're so grateful that you guys wanted to watch alongside us. Thanks for being here. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, all that good stuff so you know when we are, where we are, how we are. Also, if you're not already following us on social media, @RealRejects. And a special shout out to our patrons, patreon.com/TheRealRejects. That's where you can sync up with your own copy. That's where John and Greg cover stuff exclusively.
That's right.
That's right. You get discounts on our merch, rejectnationshop.com.
That's right.
Like this Cult of Sheject shirt or
Ooh,
that
the classic
ticket shirt. If you're not already over there,
You need a Minion
consider it.
variant.
Yeah, we do.
You need a yellow with a little circle,
That's
you know,
cute.
that's the eye, and it has the strap, and then it's got little Cult of Shejects inside.
That's
of
actually a
that,
very cute
you know.
idea. Yeah, that's cute.
So, and then all
But I didn't cover this as a Sheject. I covered this with you.
I know, but we are
Ron Joxy.
Weejects.
That's true. We're Weejects.
We're
Weejects forever.
Can I be an
kinda
honorary Sheject?
Yeah, you can for sure. See, the only thing you have to do to be a Sheject is take care of your hair, and you do. So, you know.
I try really hard.
I like Weejects. We should do more stuff with Weejects. Weejects.
Yeah,
You guys
and
know.
these are French, so they're also Weejects.
Oh, ooh, wee wee.
Wee wee
That's the
jacks.
most French that I speak. One of the other cool things that you guys can do when you're over on Patreon is you ask us questions. That's how we do our reviews. So we will get to all the Patreon questions. But before we do that, I just want to get some general thoughts from John and myself about this Minions movie. So, John, I know that going into this, we discussed being a little bit like, okay, what are we going to do with the Minions characters without our Despicable Me characters? But it seemed like we had a lot of fun while watching this. How'd you feel they did for this spin-off franchise, this prequel, shall you?
This went better than I would have expected from outside looking in, I suppose, because
Totally.
I think it's very easy and very reasonable to be a bit just scrubbed to the end just in case.
Good point.
It's easy to be a little bit cynical, I would say, about these movies, just because there's a certain amount of are they just doing it? Sorry, you never know.
Yeah, you're right.
They're gonna
You're
do
right.
a thing.
I didn't even think about it. They're just jamming out. Talk about no, it's gonna be alright. Coochie.
Oh my, we got everybody back.
Good thing you had a scrub. Best part of the movie.
I was like, they didn't shove us out of the credits, so there must be something else coming up.
No. Or maybe you have to pay more because you're torching the song.
Hoochie. Ah, fun. Everybody joins.
Everybody now. Our big villains.
I like an in the void, out of context dance routine.
Me too. Oh, good. Our road trippers.
And then, he was Michael Keaton. All right.
It sounds like they're saying hoochie, which is funnier than poochie, but
Hoochie.
hoochie mama.
Hoochie mama. Oh, right back to where we
Oh, no.
T-Rex.
Haha, that looked 3D.
That did. Oh, no. Oh, no. Freeze ray didn't work.
And we did it.
We did it.
All right, John, I know it's hard to get back to what your thoughts were, but if you can, appease us.
I remember. I think it's easy to be cynical from the outside of this because obviously these have been heavily merchandised. They've taken over Universal Studios Hollywood. They have the full might of the Universal Pictures apparatus behind them. There are Despicable Me's and Minions and all sorts of stuff. So I didn't come into this expecting something great, but I was very curious because, again, at the time of recording this, we've watched 3 Despicable Me movies, and I've had fun with those. But I figured that the Minions would be kind of a different vibe. And in the third movie, I feel like they separated out the Minions a little bit, so it seemed almost like an audition for this, even though I think actually this came out ahead of part 3. But either way, I expected maybe that we would do something.
It was 1, 2, this, and whatever. Anyway,
I think so. But yeah, either way, this seemed like an interest. Like it could go easily the way you might cynically expect it to go. But I was expecting that maybe this would give us a different type of sensibility to some degree or another, given that, again, these are characters who don't speak English. And I kind of found that. Like, this was actually... I like this, by and large. I mean, it's not, again, the deepest movie, but I think that almost, in a way, being freed of the trappings of the human characters of a Despicable Me movie, it allowed this to exist kind of in its own lane. And so it's like, I like the heart and stuff and the family vibes in the other movies. I think they're strongest in the first Despicable Me movie.
For sure, I agree.
This, especially with the first chunk where you're watching their origin and watching how they get to London and watching how all this unfolds. I think I was surprisingly enthralled by the fun and imagination of the first half. The second half I think is still pretty fun consistently once you get into the sort of we gotta steal the crown and we're feuding with Scarlet. Still really fun and enjoyable. At that point, you kind of know where stuff is going to go, so there's less surprise. But this had a really fun voice cast, and I liked the way that this felt kind of like a medley of moments. It felt appropriately like a medley of moments centered around a theme. So, actually, watching this was pretty fun, because, again, the Minions, they don't speak English, but they do speak some recognizable words, and they have just this plucky... endlessly optimistic vibe, even though they're looking for a master to serve and do villainy with. And so yeah, I just thought the charm of this and the weight of this were like just enough. So it was like, it's always light, and the stakes were never too crazy, but that's okay because they're not trying to get too heartfelt or too any one way or another other than having this sort of like fun, plucky 60s adventure. And so actually, I think this might be a hot take, but I think this is one of the ones I've enjoyed toward the higher part of my eventual potential ranking. You know, but how did you feel about it?
On your last point, I definitely preferred this to Despicable Me 3. So for sure it was higher than that. You know, I think what's difficult and that I kind of have to check at the door is that this franchise isn't necessarily like, it's definitely not for me. You know, they're not making these movies for me. And also, sometimes they don't do exactly what I want them to do. But that's not the point of watching a movie. It's to see what they decided to do. And in terms of just making a fun, entertaining movie, I feel like Minions really successfully did that.
Yeah.
It's
surprisingly.
It's short. You know, it's like a 90-minute movie. It was like, it gave us history and background of these characters. But then also, we didn't stay with the group the whole time. We focused in. Like, I feel like the reason I haven't really cared as much about the Minions as I did all of the other characters is because I couldn't, even though we got some Minions names, like I didn't know the different personality types or anything like that, but like I cared about Bob, Kevin, and Stuart.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know what their journey was. And so I thought that was really fun and different than when we've seen the Minions in the Despicable Me movies.
Yeah.
I thought that everything they did in the first act, I was like, oh, I'm so sold on this.
Yeah.
There was lulls throughout where I was kind of like, all right, I understand why some kiddos or some people would like absolutely love this right now. For me, like you said, once I kind of like, you know exactly where it's going, that's when it kind of loses a little momentum for me. But who cares?
Yeah.
It's really cute. It's endearing. And I liked the energy of this. So I kind of thought that this movie was going to be a woof for me, and the fact that it really wasn't is a big success for them. Again, like if this was something that my kiddo or my niece or whatever was like, I want to watch Minions, I'd be like, it's fun to put on. Like that, it's a fun movie to put on. I have to stop myself from thinking too much about the master message. That like really,
it's one of those things where you have to just suspend and go, this weird little race of bacteria, this is just a part of their genetic instinct.
Right, because it's like hard for me because I'm like, they have full-blown like thoughts and feelings and we see all that, but like they crave a master.
They need to be led.
And I'm always, speaking of vampire stuff, you know, that's kind of like a companion, like and I'm like, wait, no, that's horribly sad. When I think too much about it, it makes me too sad to watch the genre.
You guys are so vulnerable to abuse and manipulation.
Right. And so like the Minions here, but I did think it was a really funny twist on it that they keep killing their master on accident, even though they want to serve. And it's like, so they are kind of doing good.
They are.
Yeah. So that was super funny. Just going to the thing though, that you mentioned, I wanted to say that you are right. It was Despicable Me 1 and then 2. And then they branched off and did Minions, which I think is smart because that probably, if we had watched Minions before we saw Despicable Me 3, I wonder if that would have been a different experience at all for us.
Yeah,
and
3 kind of primes you for watching Minions on their own more than the other two.
Right, totally. So I'm curious about that. And I'm definitely curious how our experience going into 4 is knowing now about the Minions. But it goes Despicable Me 2, Minions, Despicable Me 3, Minions, Rise of Gru, Despicable Me 4. And then we're doing all of this to prep for the upcoming Minions and Monsters, ultimately, which is the most interesting title of all of them to me, of like, what is this?
It makes me fascinated, and I don't remember the trailer, so I don't know if Gru is involved. Sorry, we finished.
You just watched Euphoria.
Last night as we're recording this.
Different audience.
Yeah, oh God. There's some villains. Let's get some Minions up at Alamos. Anyway.
Yeah.
I wonder, like it was I had not forgotten about Gru, but I just wasn't expecting necessarily that we would see Gru, and then when little kid Gru shows up, I was like, oh, of course, that makes a lot of sense.
I was happy about that.
And I was happy about that too. And I am wondering how Rise of Gru will go, because I'm curious to see now. It's like I like Gru. I like the Despicable Me movie. I have goodwill generally toward the Despicable Me movies. I think the first one is the best of them so far, even though the other two have a lot of fun and imagination. I wonder, though, if adding Gru back in will help or not.
I wonder why it's Minions Rise of Gru and not Despicable Me 4. Like, what is it about that makes it a...
I mean, it's got to be something about him being a kid or coming of age, and before, it's obviously the first Despicable Me is all about his turn away from villainy. So part of me is like, how are we going to do something where he does just become a real villain, and we'll just do it innocuously enough that it's okay for kids,
But I think of anything that's Gru-centered, I think of Despicable Me. Like that.
Yeah.
But whatever works for them. They clearly make billions of dollars. So.
It makes me curious for Minions and Monsters, because if that's just them on their own again, I actually kind of am looking forward to that. Because, again, the origin just had this, like, not to give this too much of a lofty, assessment, but, like, it felt inspired in the right way. Like, it's not reinventing any wheels, and this is in a time where you're aware that a movie like this, especially these Minions, like, exist as products, and this movie is in a continuum of products. This particular installment, to me, felt more inspired than just a product. It felt like they actually came to it with some fun. And actually, the sketch-like nature of it, I thought worked, because it allowed for, like, Sandra Bullock is, like, the main voice guest here. And then you have, like, Jon Hamm in, like, a little supporting part, Michael Keaton a little supporting part, Allison Janney a little supporting part.
Right.
This little family, this villain convention. Like, there are so many fun little sketches, and I think that actually helps. Oh, here
I didn't know he was in it. That's amazing.
And Katie
He's the
Mixon's
sumo villain.
done
That's so
tons of
funny.
stuff. Yeah, like, I appreciated the imagination of all these different little things, and I think the sketch-like nature helped this to just continue being fun and to feed the imagination that these movies grow out of.
Yeah, I think fun's the perfect word. Like, if somebody said, what was the Minions movie? I'd be like, it's fun.
Super
fun.
And as a period piece, like, as I could actually recommend this to somebody way more than I thought I could.
Yeah, I hear you definitely on that.
Yeah.
Do you want to get to a few Patreon questions?
Let's do it. Banana.
All right. That's how I'm responding to you for everything. Banana. Okay. Jaden Rhodes, thanks for the question.
Yes.
This movie, for me anyway, definitely shows that the Minion characters work way better in small doses. I'm curious if y'all agree, and where does this land in the ranking of the franchise? I wonder if this question means, like, when we just have the three of them go off, it works better, or whether he's saying that the Despicable Me movies work better for him because there was too much Minions in this movie.
I think that's definitely the conversation that you would wind up having. I think that, again, like we were just talking about, I see your point, and there is a point to be made about them on their own. I thought this worked way better for a feature length than I would have expected initially, and I think that, again, the sketch-like nature of this helps it out a lot, because it allows the Minions to play off of a bunch of different kinds of characters and a bunch of different kinds of situations, and they thread them together in a loose sort of way. And again, having seen a few Despicable Me movies where they're attempting to really commit to a plot, this has, like, a loose plot and a bunch of passing characters and figures, and I think they use the revolving door episodic nature of that. Like, you have a lot of voices, it's a stacked cast, but a lot of them aren't, like, spotlit a ton. In fact, it's an interesting version of this, because it's like you could blink and miss any number of these people.
For sure.
And they know, it doesn't seem like...
I mean, Hiroyuki, we didn't even know Hiroyuki was in it.
And he could have recorded all of his lines in, like, 40 minutes.
Totally.
It's like Sandra Bullock had to do the most here.
Yep.
And I mean, I enjoyed her performance.
Well, what's it? The Minions.
And Pierre Coffin.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, I think there is some kind of life it takes on, because the Minions, again, they rely more on body language and more on physical and being morons at times, and being stooges at times, and being, like, self-centered at times, being very sweet at times. I think I think there is a limited amount of gas you can get just focusing on Minions, but I think for my taste, I would rank this surprising. Like, this is probably on par with Despicable 2. I might edge it out.
So we both think Despicable 1 is the best.
I would say.
That's my favorite.
It's
your favorite.
This might be my second
And we both
favorite.
think Despicable 3 is the worst so far. And
it doesn't gel. The things that it could be better at are just very apparent that I would rank it less. So
okay,
far.
so
Yeah.
we're on the same page about that. So it's really this and Despicable Me 2 that kind of.
Despicable Me 2 had the guacamole hat.
And that does give
so
it major points.
That is definitely a bump up. Kristen Wiig obviously introduced. There are things about Despicable 2 where I think of it now. Depending on the day, I would either put this at second or third.
Yeah, I agree.
Grappling with Despicable 2.
I
think
agree.
Despicable 2 feels a little brief for the heart that I liked in the first one. This maybe feels a little more proportionate. But again, we reach that point where you're like, okay, I know what the fighting Scarlet's going to be like roughly.
Right.
So yeah.
For me, for your question, Jaden, I totally understand where you're coming from. I think that this franchise in general, when I was talking a little bit about like it not being exactly what I want it to be, I don't. In my animation, I usually lean towards one of two ways with animation I like. Either really raunchy animation, like I love Harley Quinn, the animated series, or like BoJack, or like something that is just a little bit more adult.
Yeah.
Or I love Pixar movie things with a lot of heart. Some DreamWorks things like animation that really punches you in the gut and makes you think about your own life. Or classic Disney's like Lion King.
The stuff that really makes you you think of the artistry.
Yeah,
know?
and the storytelling that makes
comes along with
yes.
that, and the emotionality that comes along with that.
So this franchise, not just this movie, all of those, it's neither of those boxes. So because of that, when you say the Minion characters work better in small doses, I don't really feel that way, because I don't feel like by focusing on the Minions, we're taking away from the heart of this franchise. Because there isn't really there isn't a beating heart of this franchise to me. Although I like the daughter's storylines and there's some stuff with Gru. Like, to me, we can because we're just having fun, for me, we can explore the Minions as much as we want because they're fun.
Yeah.
And so I think it's fun to spend more time with them and get to know them a little bit better, because I'm not sitting there like yearning for that soul-crushing moment, because that's not what this is.
It frees you up for them to surprise you, and
Totally.
the Minions lend themselves to, you can go surprisingly touching if you want to, or you can go, there are no stakes and everything's a cartoon if you want to.
Versus monsters. Like,
Yeah.
kind of, any of it is like, oh, okay, that's kind of fun. That's kind of interesting.
There's weird, like, I love Gru and the girls in their own right, and they exist also in a cartoon, but there's almost, it starts to feel like levels to me where I'm like, it feels like more whimsy is possible in a Minions focused story than entirely in a Gru story somehow. I don't know why.
All right, let's get to this next one.
Care Bear. Hi, Roxy and John.
Hi, Care Bear.
Hi to you. If you had a squad of Minions at your disposal for a day, what shenanigans would y'all get up to?
See, like, they want to do evil.
I know.
And I don't. So
I think we would have a lot of fun. I would have to like convince them I was trying to do villainy, but then never actually try to do the villainy.
maybe I'd try to Robin Hood that crap, like steal from the rich, give to the poor. Like, if you got to do some bad things, then maybe try to like get them to do some bad things, but help
I
good
think
people.
The Minions would do that.
Yeah, for sure. Because as long as they're getting into shenanigans, they don't care.
And then
they're stealing, they don't care.
Here's my headcanon. I think all of their different, bosses who died had karma working against them because they're all doing evil. So if we do something Robin Hood, spirited, where it's like we're robbing, these major corporate banks and we're giving away to the poor and whatnot, and spreading bananas far and wide. I feel like the Minions, we would reach the right level where, like, because we're not quite that nefarious, we have the karmatic advantage.
Exactly.
That, like, some random anvil isn't going to fall out of the sky on us.
Right, we're not going to die. That's the other thing about being their master. Although Gru stayed alive, but he has turned good. But yeah, I think that is the only thing we could really do, because otherwise they won't play ball. Like, they don't want to do a beach day with Minions. That's not interesting to them.
No, unless we get into some beach-based villainy. I don't know. It's weird because they were just like partying when they were with the Yetis. So
You're right.
like,
You're right.
I feel like they just need to feel secure under someone's evil thumb, and then they'll just kind of hang out if you let them.
But they were with the Yetis for such a short time. Like if they were there longer, they probably would have been
They
like
can get
snooze
bored. And they're
fest.
like,
Yeah.
can we do something here?
Exactly.
Can we maim a tundra explorer?
Perfect. Mario.
It's a me.
If the rejects were transformed into adorable minions, which historical or fictional evil figure would you want as your leader? And what would be your group chant / catchphrase? Oh, I mean, why would we ever want an evil figure as our leader?
I mean, let's see.
How do you answer this question and not get canceled?
I mean, I'll just go with Vlad the Impaler, who inspired Dracula, because then A, we'll get him killed, so that'll be good for history. And B, then I'll get to at least have the spooky vampire, experience.
Yeah.
Who was? I guess you'd have to play the long game again as a good-hearted person. You have to go, okay, whose villainy do I want to inadvertently wipe off the map with my minion application?
It's almost like who was borderline evil, but if I was there, I feel like maybe I could have helped.
Yeah.
Mario, I'm not trying to be a complainer, but I really don't know how to answer this question.
As my leader, I'm sorry we didn't.
Okay, they said or fictional. Okay.
Fictional evil
That's
villain. Okay.
better. We can go with fictional. Okay, because then like maybe Mr. Freeze, right? Because I love the story with his wife, and I feel like he's on a tear, and it's kind of like Gru with the cold gun actually though. But I feel like there's some good there, or maybe more like Harley Quinn, right? That's anti-hero.
Dude, Harley Quinnions would be crazy.
Harley Quinnions would go hard.
Harley Quinnions would be amazing.
Harley Quinnions should be the sequel. That's kind of the answer. Because she's funny too, right? Like that would just be a hoot and a holler.
Agree. I think it would be interesting. I don't align with this character's morality, obviously, but just given the traditions of animation and stuff, I think if you paired the minions up with the villain, Christopher Lloyd in Who Framed Roger Rabbit,
okay,
they'd probably get him dipped, and that would be good for us. And
That's
also,
great.
I think just that tradition crossing over would be pretty fun.
I'm reading the next part of
the
next part of the question about what would your group chant / catchphrase be, and I do feel like, especially because banana, Harley Quinn's is puddin'. It's banana pudding.
Puddin'.
Banana puddin'.
Banana puddin'. Puddin'. You gotta put the French on it.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess a John Minion would have to say coffee, guitar.
Yeah, but it's not you as you.
Well, yeah, but
I guess it is. Well, you are. Yeah, but the leader. All right, I like coffee as yours. Mine would be chocolate chip cookies for sure.
Dude, yeah, there
I
you
just
go.
have them all the time.
Bubbly water.
Bubbly. Bubbly. Look right.
LaCroix.
Your minion voice crushes mine. Here we go.
Jay Rushton. What up, Jay? Question. What name would you give your favorite minion? So far, there's Kevin, Stuart, and Bob. So if you were going to name a minion.
Yeah, I have questions about their reproduction.
I do too.
Yep.
and they all just innately have names, I guess.
Yep. Because I think we're only working with guy names here.
I know. Carl,
yeah.
Laszlo. Let's do, how about this? Unisex names. Leslie.
Yeah.
Jordan. There was a Chris. Ryan is now how about a hyphen? Jamie. There you go. Jamie.
Yeah. Good. Alex.
Jon Hamm.
Jon Hamm.
Jon Hamm's Jon Hamm.
You guys let us know in the comments what's the best minion name that they could have.
Longer names.
They're so short.
Like Eduardo.
What was the one that we heard? It was like Naratu, but it wasn't.
Aloysius.
Aloysius is the most iconic minion name ever.
Yeah.
I do want to look at some minion trivia.
Let me guess, because before we sat down to this, you checked the tomato meter.
Yeah, so I know
we were trying to figure out what kind of experience we'd be in for. And so I'm guessing that this got a 43%.
On which side?
Critics.
Critics actually gave this 55.
You know what? 50 is a fun range, because I feel like 50 is the range of the tomato meter where it really becomes a matter of taste.
49 for the popcorn meter. So that was kind of interesting that the audience liked it less than the critics did. But I it's hard for me not to say it's a fair score because I get why.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like I'm not like compelled to really argue with anybody about it.
Yeah.
I would rate it better than that, but I'm also like the stakes are low.
Right.
You know, like it's a cartoon and it's whimsical and it doesn't outstay its welcome too hard. So actually, yeah, it's weird. I'm like, low 50s, that kind of makes sense, and and then that will come down, I feel like, to your matter of taste. If this is the right kind of cartoony for you, then great. If you need something with, more heart and depth, and you're not as into this kind of cartoon tradition, that's also fair. But I think this one, it's like, the first Despicable Me had like a really fun blend of like, Looney Tunes, but heart. And then the other ones went a little more Looney Tunes and a little less heart.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like mostly Looney Tunes, which I also enjoy, and
Totally.
And yeah, with that, just kind of being the assignment, I'm like, well, the assignment, surprisingly pretty solid.
I think they did exactly what they set themselves up to do. Like they accomplished what they wanted to.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, just quick trivia. A couple of this is interesting to me. I like this one. The leading 3 minions were designed to resemble the 3 little girls from Despicable Me, Margot, Agnes, and Edith. I could see that.
Is that why the heterochromia? Because it doesn't.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is the middle sister? Doesn't she have 2 different colored eyes? I don't know. I did.
Oh
this.
yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but that is interesting.
And I liked all the different. That's a cool fact, and I like that throughout the movie they have little stand-ins for the 3 of them.
Yeah.
Like they put just so many little things in the background. Like it seems like everyone really
cares
for a product movie. It seems like people really brought some some.
I'm with you on that for sure. This is the first non-Disney or Pixar animated film to take in $1 billion worldwide at the box office. That's wild.
And then you get cynical.
That's crazy.
This is $1 billion piece of art.
And let's just let that sink in. We talked a little bit about the languages throughout, but this language is known as Minionese, which is spoken by the Minions. It's a mix between English, Spanish, German, French, Italian, Portuguese, Indonesian, Hebrew, Malay, and gibberish.
Hell yeah. I do
And
love...
a guy spit a geek, should get but a girl to gish, but a guy did a gid, and a guy had a gear, the guy again, did a guess, mid a game, but a guy said a giss, did a girl, little golf, should get but a girl to gish.
I was following you for part of that. That was amazing. Holy God.
Yeah, gibberish is my jam, man.
I had no idea you were fluent.
Yes, I am.
Wow.
Certainly.
All right. I gotta
Okay.
study up.
Speaking of the Minionese, some of the words are taken from Indonesian, such as terima kasih, which is thank you, kamari, kamir, yang mulia, your highness, and others. Is mainly because Pierre Coffin's mother is an Indonesian writer. That's cool.
I do love, and that's a fun thing too, because it forces you to like listen. It makes it fun, and it rewards you a little bit for like kind of listening in and paying attention. It's just like a little silly thing, but I do find their characterization and language quite endearing. And because like it is sort of a weird multicultural thing, it's like anyone in the world that is aware of a handful of these languages might be able to pick one out, and just kind of you feel a little bit more like the Minions are a multicultural worldwide organization.
Facts. That's why we went back through history with them.
It's actually woke.
Wait, this is another fun fact about the box office. The only movie with a budget under $100 million to cross $1 billion worldwide at the box office without being re-released.
I wonder what the budget for
Yeah,
this
me
was.
too. Me too. Should we look?
Because too, I mean, you have a studded cast, but you don't have to pay anybody too crazily, other than Sandy B. I mean, 74 million is a
1.15
solid high
bill.
budget. It's you're breaking into big budget.
Yeah, but you didn't. Yeah, that's still an unbelievable accomplishment, which is cool.
Good for them.
All right.
I could hate this whole scenario and them making such success off of this more than I do.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And they sang hair in this movie. They sang hair in Minions.
You were so stoked on that.
I was.
I
Long,
was
beautiful hair.
This is the Hall H thing that we caught. Let's see. Oh, Scarlet Overkill is the first villain role for Sandy B.
Dude, stretching her legs. I thought she did a good job.
Yeah, I did too. All right, let's just go quickly to spoilers to see if there's anything there, and then we will get out of here.
I think they did clarify the Richard Nixon thing too.
There we go. Okay.
It was young Dr. Nefario at Villain Con showing off his latest invention, the freeze ray gun, to a young Gru and his mama. You
Very
caught
cool.
that. We caught both of them and not Gru.
Yeah, and not Gru. Yeah, bummer. The British Royal Crown, being worn by Bob during his coronation scene, can briefly be seen in Despicable Me when the Minions are offering up treasures to help fund Gru's attempt to steal the moon. That's cool. So they already knew. That's it, my dudes.
Let me word search Richard Nixon really quick so we can.
Oh, I
so
saw.
we
It
can
was
see.
just saying that he got pushed.
Wait, there's another one though. There's the second one.
Oh, what
there
was
are
the
two
one that
Nixon
you-
facts. Hit the
Oh,
arrow.
let's see.
Hit the arrow. Was it his? When arriving in his presidential campaign with the slogan "Finally a name you can trust," but is that real? All right,
Google it. You got to Google it.
Richard Nixon, finally a name you can trust. Is that it?
Yep.
Is a memorable political slogan famously used during Richard Nixon's
That's amazing.
1968 presidential campaign.
Finally.
And you called out, some of the stuff is a little bit 70s, like 68.
Yeah, it was 68.
That's when the 60s are smearing into becoming the 70s.
To you guys at home, we have the captions on, and so we couldn't see if it was an 8 or 3, but then when we saw it was Nixon, it made sense that it was 68.
Yeah. That's just for you patrons, hopefully.
Oh.
Hopefully the editors made us look super smart. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
All right, dude. Let's get out of here.
Let's do
but
it.
we will see you guys for Despicable Me for Banana. We'll see you for
Despicable Me
Banana.
for-
Or Banana.
Or banana.
I'm
we can just
hungry.
eat a banana mukbang. Mukbang.
Exactly. We should bring bananas for the next one. All right,
All right,
later,
I'm
rejects.
dedicated. Banana!
Nobody!
Buddy!